Our next speaker is Rob Rogers.
Board members, I'm Rob Rogers, a D20 resident and parent of 2 D20 students. I swear to all that is sacred that I don't look for things to complain about. I wish that board meetings and actions were just routine and boring, but I don't see the board responding to very many of the legitimate concerns raised by parents and staff, and I just keep finding new things to be concerned about. The district is already bleeding teachers, and teachers are reporting that their schedules aren't reflecting the promised class size reductions and increased class availability the 6x8 schedule was supposed to bring to the table. Was anything being done to address this? The parents of special needs students reported very specific details about serious problems 2 weeks ago and tonight, including IEP violations and the unavailability of required paraprofessional support. Is anything being done to address this yet? So I reviewed tonight's agenda looking for any kind of visible actions on the part of the board or the administration, and instead see a quote from Ayn Rand of all people. If Ayn Rand is considered to be quotable source material for a public school forum, then maybe we just discovered one of the roots of the continuing issues. See, Ms. Rand considered altruism to be evil and immoral, and she had a particular disdain for the poor and the less fortunate. In 1981, she was talking with Phil Donahue and said, and I apologize for the offensive language, the newest proposals of having special millions spent on subnormal children and on the handicapped. It's the attempt to bring everyone to the level of the handicapped. It includes the mentally retarded, subnormal children who are not able to learn. So at the end of spending thousands or millions of taxpayer dollars, you're left with a half idiot who may learn to read and write. She also considered Indigenous Americans and Arabs to be savages that deserved to be subjugated by those she considered to be civilized. She believed that the elderly should be allowed to just die with limited interventions because of the burden they place on taxpayers and the wealthy. The fact that Ayn Rand is being referenced for any purpose by board members does offer some explanation for past actions and controversies. The overwhelming and uninformed emphasis that had been placed on so-called parental rights, as an example, the railing against efforts to respect diversity, create equitable learning environments, and ensure that all staff and students feel included. A couple of examples. Might I suggest that board members find a different reference, one that's more reflective of their duties to manage an educational system intended to benefit the public good? Winston Churchill said, "What is the use of living if it be not to strive for noble causes and to make this muddled world a better place for those who will live in it after we're gone?" Now that sentiment is much more reflective of the approach I would expect public servants to take. Thank you.